So from April 2026, if you hold one of these bad boys, the cash ISA, your allowance will go down from £20,000 per tax year to just £12,000, which on the surface doesn't sound too bad. But in this video, I'm going to show you how this could impact investors across the UK. Now, personally, I never set up my Trading 212 cash ISA because I don't think cash is a good investment long term. But if I had, right now, I would be able to move cash from my stocks and shares ISA easily to my cash ISA and back and forth with no problems. But come April 2027, you will no longer be allowed to transfer money from your stocks and shares ISA over to your cash ISA. Now, previously we thought this wasn't a big deal for UK investors, as we could still use the stocks and shares ISA in the way that it was similar to the cash ISA, and that is put in cash and earn interest on that cash, as many brokers allow you to earn interest on uninvested cash. However, the government has said that this loophole will be shut. Now, if you're not already with Trading 212, whether it's the stocks and shares ISA or the cash ISA, you can sign up to Trading 212 using the link in the description box down below and get a free fractional share worth up to £100. Now, alternatively, to get this, you can also press the 3 horizontal line menu at the bottom of the screen. Then scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code. And in this section, just enter the code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. Now, this new cash ISA rule that starts from April 2027 does not apply to people aged 65 and over. However, my audience are probably going to be in their 30s or 20s and are very far away from retiring. Now, obviously, cash over the long term isn't a great investment, as we know from the data. However, cash is a vital part of many people's portfolios. Now, the thing is that the overall ISA allowance is still £20,000 per tax year, which means you'll be able to put in £12,000 into your cash ISA if you so wish, and then the £8,000 remaining from your allowance, if you are lucky enough to have £20,000 spare per tax year, you can put into your stocks and shares ISA or perhaps even lifetime ISA. However, the government has hinted towards reforming the lifetime ISA, setting up a new scheme that allows, under 40s to save for a housing deposit, etc. So this puts the whole lifetime ISA in question. And so right now, in terms of ISAs, the next best thing may be the stocks and shares ISA. Now, from a stocks and shares ISA, like I mentioned, you won't be able to transfer money into your cash ISA because that kind of acts as a loophole. However, if you have many cash ISAs already, especially from previous tax years, you'll still be able to transfer between different cash ISAs. And of course, that's good because you don't want to stay with a certain ISA if they have non-competitive rates. Now, like I said, cash could be a really important part of your portfolio, especially if you want to retire early. 65 is not the most ideal age to retire. And if you had worked hard to, make a 6 or 7 figure portfolio and you want to retire off of it, things have just become more difficult because the government will be adding a penalty for those who actually use cash in their stocks and shares ISA for any long period of time. This is to incentivize people to invest more rather than keep cash. I get where the government is coming from. Of course, as an investing channel, I want more people to invest. The more people that invest probably will bring up share prices too. That's probably what the government are more hoping for. But forcing people to do anything is never really a good idea, in my opinion. So if you wanted to retire early and you had to keep a bunch of cash, for emergencies or in case the markets were volatile, well, unfortunately, earning interest on that cash could lead you to be paying more in taxes or penalties. The amount of penalty or tax we don't actually know right now, as it's still up in the air. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's fine. I won't earn interest on my uninvested cash. I'll just buy myself a qualifying money market fund. That's pretty much the closest thing anyway. However, the government has said that they are looking to penalize those who use cash-like products, which includes a qualifying money market fund like this. Now, compared to putting money in a bank, a qualifying money market fund is essentially the second safest, in my opinion, after a bank. It uses ultra short-term securities, which basically means that, these bonds are very short-term. So even if these short-term securities fail for whatever reason, essentially there's not a huge wait until the next ones come into play. Obviously, investing within a qualifying money market funds is still an investment and your capital is still at risk, although the risk is very, very low compared to bonds, which are longer term usually, and stocks and shares. So if you are planning on retiring early, now you actually have to plan more for your short term funds. And if the stock market crashes when you decide to retire, that could add further complications. Now, a large part of this cash ISA reduction that a lot of people are not talking about is the fact that the government has decided to reduce an allowance that they've already given us, and that could give them the confidence to reduce more allowances. For example, later down in the line, they could potentially reduce the overall ISA allowance allowance too. The cash ISA allowance, in a way, is their way of testing the waters to assess how much outrage the general public gives. And I think it is quite smart just reducing the cash ISA allowance now. Although I can't guarantee that is the government's intention, it does give us a bit of fright as to what, they can do going forward. I've always thought of the ISA allowance as a privilege, and every single year since 2021, I have worked hard to maximize my allowance, to put in £20,000 every tax year. I would not bet my bottom dollar that, this allowance of £20,000 per tax year will stay like this forever. There may be ISA caps too. So I want to make sure that I don't get stuck if and when these new changes are coming. Within my stocks and shares ISAs, I have around £150,000 invested right now. Personally, my priorities over, maxing my pension or SIP has always been my stocks and shares ISA, as I've always wanted to retire early. And there was always something in the back of my mind saying they could potentially change it. So absolutely, the cash ISA reduction could affect UK investors everywhere. We've talked about retiring early. We've talked about having cash or cash-like products in our stocks and shares ISAs. This could mark the end of that. Now let's talk about the positives of the cash ISA allowance being reduced. First is that yes, it will get more people investing into stocks and shares, which I think is a good thing. I've always personally thought that cash was a terrible investment long term. So I think yes, by reducing the cash ISA allowance, it could potentially be a good thing, because someone who might not be educated in stocks and shares would probably put all the money into cash ISA. If it gives 3% guaranteed, that's for them 3% extra per year, but they don't understand potentially the impacts of inflation. The other thing is, with that spare £8,000 that people may have, it's inevitable that they will be putting it into a stocks and shares ISA, and they're going to have to invest it into something. And of course, there's a chance that they will invest into the US markets or the European markets and inflate those prices. However, there's also a chance that they will invest into the UK market. Now, I think the UK markets have done superbly over the past year, up over 26% as I speak. Remember, by the time you watch it, there could be a crash. But anyway, the UK markets have done really good. On paper, they look really undervalued and they have a lot of potential, in my opinion. It is a heavy hand from the government reducing the cash ISA allowance, but if it gets more people looking into the UK markets or even the European markets, then that could potentially be a good thing. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.